So people tend to think, well, if I only can do one thing, I'm just going to run. But you can mix it up and do strength training. I would recommend at least twice a week. And then that will have a lot of benefits, more than just doing, say, like the same base run. If you do the same base run all the time, you won't have as many benefits as if you mix it up and do some base runs, but also do the strength training.
You are listening to the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast with your host, Eric Logan. No Gimmicks, Just Sweat is dedicated to hearing the journeys and unique stories behind an athlete's training and what drives them. Get inspired to own your life and make the impossible possible. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Also, please take a few seconds to rate the show and drop me a review. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello and welcome to another new episode of No Gimmicks, Just Sweat. And today we are welcoming back guest from season 2, episode 23, Marnie Kunz. Marnie, how are you doing today? And again, welcome back.
Thanks, Eric. It's good to be here. I'm doing well. It's a Friday. Things are going good. How are you?
It's the same. It's a Friday. That is the most important thing. As we're recording it is a Friday, so it's a happy Friday.
Yeah.
You got the weekend to look forward to.
Exactly.
So again, thank you for coming back into the show, and just kind of want to get an idea of, what's been going on with your life, with running. You're Miss Run Street, Miss, the Wolf Pack herself.
Yeah, sure. So I've been running a lot on my own and doing more weightlifting, and also like fun runs with friends, and I run with my dog sometime. I guess she's part of the wolf pack. She kind of looks like a wolf. And she loves running in the cold weather. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, she's a beautiful dog. If you do not follow her online and see pictures of her dog, that is a beautiful dog.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the strength training. So you mentioned you're doing more strength training. So what led into you doing more strength training nowadays?
Right. So last year, I think it was after we talked, I got certified as a NASM-certified personal trainer, and I studied more and learned more about weightlifting benefits. And I've also been writing a lot on the Run Street blog about different strength training techniques and benefits and stuff. And it made me more excited about it. So I've been doing more weightlifting myself, and doing some heavier weights. I have been working on kind of building my home gym throughout the pandemic. So it's getting pretty good. I feel like I got a pretty good amount of weights. So yeah, I've been doing more strength training, usually 3 to 4 times a week. And that's been going pretty well.
So what are the benefits to strength training that you've seen, since you started doing it?
I definitely see a benefit as far as overall fitness level. I feel like it's been good for building muscle, which a lot of people, well, especially I think a lot of women are afraid of that, but it's actually a good thing, especially as you get older, because I'm getting older now, and it helps with so your metabolism doesn't slow down as much, and you're able to prevent muscle loss that happens with age. And that helps also with running. It helps to run faster, to have more strength in your lower body. And I think overall, kind of, for if you're doing stuff like weightlifting for fitness benefits, it's more like sculpting effects than, say, cardio training. So I think it's a good balance, to do both. But I think that strength training often gets overlooked, especially with runners and endurance athletes. We might have limited time, or it's just oh, well, I don't really have the energy to do it. But it really does help. I think it's helped me with also with kind of maintaining. I lost some weight during the pandemic that I had been wanting to lose. I think it was part of it was just from eating out and traveling a lot, but then I've been able to maintain that through weightlifting, and I feel like my fitness level is pretty good from doing the weightlifting more and building muscle back because I had lost some muscle. And so, yeah, those are some of the benefits.
Because you're already an RRCA and a USATF certified running coach. So
Correct.
and so now that you're NASM certified as a personal trainer, you know, it sounds like that is. Oh, I'm getting tongue tied right here. That as well has kind of enhanced your run coaching, capabilities in the sense that you see another spectrum or another level to improve, running.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it definitely helps. And I think a lot of runners need help with strength training because, they might have some background with endurance training or coaching, but not so much with weightlifting. And I think people get intimidated by it, which I can understand, but it doesn't have to be this big scary thing. Like you can start by doing dumbbells, at your house. It doesn't have to be like joining some big expensive gym or even getting a personal trainer or anything. Like I think that weightlifting can be pretty accessible to everybody.
So why do you think runners are? Well, let me not just categorize all runners. Like, why do you think some runners are that resistance to strength training? And you kind of hear from a lot of them that it's if you want to be a better runner, you just keep running, keep running, keep running,
Mhm.
um, and not incorporate any type of strength training in there. So why do you think that seems to be the case? And do you think that, the trend is kind of moving toward adding strength now from coaches, that coaches are telling their runners?
Yeah, I think the trend is to add more strength. I think it was kind of like the old way of doing stuff was like, especially for long distance runners. So it depends on what distances you're training for. But even if you're doing marathons or ultra marathons, strength training is beneficial. But I think people used to think like, oh, it's gonna make me too big. Like a lot of really serious runners or want to be like really lean and not have any extra weight to carry. But the strength training actually helps with preventing injuries and running faster, and it helps with your muscle endurance. But I think it's also just a practical thing. Sometimes it's just hard to get in, all the workouts. So people tend to think, well, if I only can do one thing, I'm just going to run. But you can mix it up and do strength training. I would recommend at least twice a week. And then that will have a lot of benefits more than just doing, say, like the same base run. If you do the same base run all the time, um, you won't have as many benefits as if you mix it up and do some base runs, but also do the strength training.
See, I like you. You're in promoting strength training. I love that. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah, I noticed you do a lot of strength training. That's great.
Yes, as you said, we're all getting older,
Mhm.
and in maintaining strength is one of the things that as you get older you want to try to do. It's not an aesthetic thing. It's just like, okay, I still want to be able to get up from the sofa, and stand up, properly. I want to be
Right.
able to bend down and pick up something. I still want to be able to, get out of bed properly. Those types of things.
Exactly. It's very practical. And I think, sometimes it can be tedious, like with the strength training, the reps and stuff like that, but it doesn't have to be this big, terrible thing that I think some runners, they dread it.
Right.
Right.
So what else has been going on with you?
Um, Not too much. I've been doing the Run Streak blog, so I've been writing a lot. Like I update it at least once a week with a new post, and then I'll update some of the old posts. And so I've been doing like training articles and stuff. And I guess, yeah, that's the main stuff for fitness.
So blogging, so you're starting to write more. So is that leading to something, maybe like writing a book or something?
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I think it would be great to write a book. I need to get focused.
Yeah, getting focused is one of those things that it could be very hard these days.
It can.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, trying to stay sane in this crazy world.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep up with stuff with like social media and, blogging and training and then training people. With Run Street, we also have like a membership where we have a fitness challenge every month, and it's body weight strength exercises. So I also come up with the workouts for that, and we have a Discord group where we keep up with everyone, can post their workouts and stuff like that to stay motivated. So that's been really fun. And yeah, I've been doing that too. So then it's like maintaining another section of the website that's like a members only section.
Okay, so it's growing. The wolf pack is growing.
So yeah, it's growing. Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of step into Run Street, and one of the things that I've always liked that you do is the art runs. Are you well? First of all, for people who don't know about the art runs, if you want to kind of explain that to them and just kind of go into, is it growing and evolving, and what you have next for it.
Yeah, sure. So the art runs they're fun 5K running events where we go at a relaxed pace. It's a fun run, and you do like a tour of street art in different cities. And we do them. I started it in New York, and we also have them in Chicago. And we've done them in other cities too. And since the pandemic, that put a pause on them, but then I restarted them. And it's not as big as it used to be as far as the events, but we're still doing some events. So we'll be doing like a spring art run in Chicago, and most likely in New York we'll do one too. And it's really fun. It's a good way to learn about the murals and the artists in different neighborhoods, and you get like fun, photos or videos and stuff from the event, and it's a good way to meet people. So it's kind of like it's a fun social running experience.
Okay. I heard Chicago, but I didn't hear Atlanta.
We have done one in Atlanta. I would love to do more there. It's just getting down there it takes a while. I mean, not
Hint.
yeah, I know. Yeah, actually, if you want to help, we need someone there to lead them because we have someone in Chicago who leads events there, and we did do one in Atlanta where I flew down there with Mark. He's our photographer in New York, and it was really fun. And he's actually from Atlanta, and I used to live there for a while, so we both know the city pretty well. And yeah, it's great, and there's so many runners there, and so much art. Atlanta, every time I go to Atlanta, it's like, oh my gosh, it's growing so fast.
Oh yeah. Atlanta, it continues to grow and evolve, but traffic still doesn't get any better.
Right. Yeah. That's the hardest part.
All right. So you're during yeah. Oh, wow, I'm getting tongue tied again.
It must be the Friday case of the Fridays, right?
Yeah. The case of the Fridays. So, with the art runs, with your training and with the wolf pack and stuff, has anything, really changed in your outlook on running, since, we've had the pandemic, we've kind of gotten over, and I'm doing quotation marks, getting, through the pandemic a little bit, and, a lot of people kind of look at things a little bit differently, even their running. Has anything changed with you on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, yeah, some things changed. I think I became more, I guess, a little more inward focused on what feels good for me as far as like my running and training, and less focused on, other people, a little less focused on social media too. I used to like do a lot to keep up with my Instagram and stuff, and I still do it, but I think it's more of a hobby, I guess, than it used to be. But I think, yeah, in general with my running, I feel less pressured by what other people are doing. I think I used to compare myself more to other people, and now it's kind of like, oh, I'm doing this for my health and my fitness, and also I want to help other people, and kind of have more, I guess, healthy attitudes towards running and working out. So I guess that's something that's changed. As far as before, I was just so focused on events, and I think I was so busy that I just didn't have time to think about a lot of stuff. And then, with the pandemic, we all had so much time to think. So I think I just became more focused on like health benefits and things like that on a, I guess, a more holistic perspective as far as like running. I still do coach people, and I'll make running plans for people and stuff and help people with their speed goals and race goals, and I love that stuff. I love speed workouts. I still like doing track workouts and stuff, but it's like for even though it can be painful, it's still like for personal enjoyment,
Right.
So so yeah, I guess I just shifted to a more overall health and wellness perspective instead of like narrow focused on one thing like the art runs or something.
Okay. It just sounds like you evolved, and I hear that from a lot of people, in recent months and recent years that they've changed their perspective on things. And even with me a little bit, I've changed a little bit my perspective on how I look at running and stuff. With this year in 2023, this will be 10 years of me actually running, as a runner. And, the thing, I'm looking at is getting back to just the simple enjoyment of running.
Yeah, that's great. You're right. I think a lot of people are at that point now too, where they're really kind of just seeing it as the benefit, like the health benefits and things. And maybe less worried about like doing every single event they used to do or stuff like that.
Right. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I enjoy the challenge of, going to a race and running,
Mm.
but, and I think it started a little bit, it started creeping in, during the pandemic and then a little bit after the pandemic, is that, I just like getting outside,
Yeah,
you know, and, just the enjoyment of that. And that even though I didn't have a race or anything going, I just enjoy being outside. And I see that more now, as we, at the beginning of the year, that, I just enjoy being outside more, enjoying life.
that's great. Yeah, me too. I think just getting outside and just appreciating, yeah, being alive is something that maybe we took for granted before the pandemic. Or I did in ways.
Right? And yeah, yeah. So we evolve, we grow. With age comes wisdom, as they say.
Right.
All right. So what are your big plans going forward for 2023? No, it is we're in January. We're starting the year off. This is generally when people have their little plans, their goals. What they're looking forward to this year. So what are you looking forward to this year?
That's a good question. I'm looking forward to writing more, working on the blog more, and also to last year we did our first dog art walk where it's like a mural. It's like the art runs but with dogs, and we walk instead of running. And we did it as a fundraiser for rescue. So we're gonna do another one this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And also we did one here in Brooklyn and one in Chicago, so we'll be doing those again. And that was really fun, and it's fun with my dog, and she loves to get out and meet new dogs and stuff, just like we like to get out and meet people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and also to growing our membership with like the fitness challenges and stuff. I'm going to be experimenting and trying some new workout programming, and I guess those are some of the main things. And also on my personal fitness, I'm working on doing heavier weights like squats and bench press. And with running, I think we talked about this before too. I like doing trail running, so I'm hoping to do
Yes.
some more, some more trail running this year. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
You're just gonna get out and enjoy life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that.
Yeah.
So are you gonna try to fit in a race or two during the year?
Yeah, I probably will. I gotta look at my friend Jose and I have been like wanting to do a race for a while, so we might we need to get together and figure out what races we want to do. I saw there's a St. Patrick's run that looks fun. I like doing the fun, like themed races sometimes, so I'll probably do some of those.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Marty, thank you again for coming on the show. Is there anything else you want to kind of leave the listeners with? Anything else you want to let them know what's going on?
No, I think that's about it. If you want to find out more about our membership or anything, just go to runstreet.com to the website, and that's where all the latest stuff going on with Run Street is, or the Run Street Instagram. But thank you for having me also. It's always fun to talk to you, and you're so positive. I like following your social media too. It's always motivating with all your workouts.
Oh, make me blush right now. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
But again, Marty, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
All right, you have a great day now.
You too. Happy weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast. We really appreciate everyone who tunes in each week. If you enjoyed today's show, please support us by subscribing, rating, and reviewing this show wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell your friends about the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast, so we can continue to have awesome conversations with everyday athletes just like you. Until next time, have an amazing week.